So when I was younger, there was a crabapple tree in our front yard, and it was amazing because it had branches that were just low enough that made it ridiculously easy to climb. And so one day I was out and in my rubber boots, because of course, what else are you going to wear to climb trees than rubber boots? And I was climbing this tree, and I stuck my foot in between two branches to hoist myself up, and I put my full weight on it, and the boot sunk down into the branches as rubber does, and I got stuck there, and I could not pull that foot out for the life of me. I was about 6 or 7 at the time, and so I did what every kid that age does, and I just yelled, "Mom! I'm stuck! I can't get down!" Thinking that immediately Mom's going to come rushing out. She's going to grab me, pull me down from the tree. Everything will be fine. And much to my surprise and horror, all I hear from the house is, "If you can get up, you can get down." And that destroyed me. I was so upset. I thought, how could my mother, my own mother, leave me abandoned up in this tree? How could she supposed to love me, and she's just going to leave me out here? I don't remember how I got down from the tree, but clearly I did, because I'm not still up there. I don't know if I pulled my foot out of the boot and climbed down in my socks, or I don't know if I pulled it loose and got down. I didn't fall out of the tree because I didn't have any broken bones or stitches. But that was a very formative moment in my life. And a few years later, I was a teenager in my early 20s. I happened to mention this as a very strong memory to my mom. And I told her the story, and we were all laughing. And what she said, she did not remember this particular instance. It made a much bigger impression on me than it did on her. But what she said was, she assured me that was probably the 10th time that day that I'd done the exact same thing. And that she was probably at the front window of the house, looking out, watching me, making sure I got down okay. Now, for the longest time, that was just a funny story. They would occasionally come up, my dad, my sisters, my mom, and I. It would come up in conversation, it would come up at dinner. We'd laugh about it, and that was pretty much it. But in 2010, the story took on a much bigger meaning. In 2010, my mom was diagnosed with cancer. At Thanksgiving, she was perfectly fine. She had what she thought was a cold, but was still running around cooking Thanksgiving dinner for the whole family. By Halloween, me and my sisters were racing home from Toronto because the doctors didn't think she was going to make it, and that we needed to be there immediately. And Mom passed away in December 1st. So it was basically a month. And while we were sitting there in the hospital room, kind of awaiting what was now inevitably going to happen, we were talking, and this story comes up again. If you can get up, you can get down. And we laughed. And suddenly, it changed. It wasn't just this funny little story anymore. It was somehow this perfect metaphor for how Mom had raised me and my sisters, right? She never really looked at it as her responsibility to keep us out of all of the trouble. It wasn't her responsibility to come to the tree and scoop us up every time we got ourselves in a predicament, because she knew that sooner or later we were going to get ourselves up a tree, and it was up to us to get down. And that sooner or later, she wasn't going to be there to help us. Thank you very much, everybody.